Okay, good morning everyone. Welcome to the Tuesday session for week 10 of the Guildford City Fitness live stream. Make sure, I'm going to start with this. I've noticed how much I say during videos, so if you catch me doing it, make a comment and I will do a 20-second plank for my sins, because it's really annoying. Backstroke warm up today.
That in a minute.
Why?
Because there's only one person logged on, so.
Oh, well, I'm sure they'll tell everyone.
Yeah.
Backstroke warm up, so 2 1-minute rounds of backstroke skipping. And the only kit you're going to need today is a table, potentially to do incline mountain climbers. So 3, 2, 1, go. Make sure, as always, your warm-up area is clear and you've got a drink to get you through.
So you got hello from Chris, Paige, Ben, Ollie, Noah, Yaya. Morning from Michelle Ware.
Morning, guys.
Millie, Morgan, Tegan, Cam, James, Pearl.
Hope you're not all too sunburnt from yesterday, assuming you all went out, enjoyed the weather. And yeah, seeing as you're all here, if I say and you catch me, make a comment and I'll do a 20-second plank for it.
You got Matt T, Elizabeth, Caroline, Charlie. Yeah, he noticed how much he said in yesterday's videos.
Stop.
So.
Yeah, it's just really annoying. Okay, round 2 in 3, 2, 1, go. A little bit longer. Just thinking about all the people that have managed to get out and do some swimming recently. Hope you've been enjoying it. Well, how busy it is.
What, at like the beach and the lakes?
The lakes and stuff. Okay, and stop. So the rest of the backstroke warm up, you're going to go with 6 squat to hip lifts and then 6 windmills. These never get easier. Which is just kind of like the best reason to keep doing them. So make sure you're as high as you have to keep your back straight. Pull your toes up with your hands and push your knees out to the side as you go down. Okay, then windmills, hands overhead, then rotate it down. As you sink into the hinge, if you spread your feet, that'll then start to pull you down further. So hand on your knee, just sink down. And the angle of your leg will then create the rotation.
Julian says, morning everyone.
How you doing, Julian? Okay, so then Streamline Lunge and wall slides. 3 on each side. Before I'm just going overhead because I'm trying to deliberately force my arms back. So with Streamline, you can just pull your hands. And then wall slides. See if there's a way. So much worse. I can just about get away with that if I lean. Okay, 6 of them. And then alternate shoulder rolls. I mess this up every week. So one forward, one back, thumb down in front, and then flip it when you go behind. And then other way. That's the same way. And then split jumps to finish off. And separate them however you want to. Or just bounce through them and try and build the height after each one. Then grab a drink. Part 1 is just going to start with Spider-Man push-ups. Uh-oh, did I say one?
I didn't hear it. If these guys heard you say then they haven't told me yet.
Okay, Spider-Man push-up, hollow hold, reverse plank. Spider-Man's. Go. Bear crawl, set up. Opposite hand and foot forward. Do your push-up from there. Swap halfway. If you want to try and progress it, go from one into the other.
Sam C has just signed on.
Hollow hold. Try and go for the most extreme position you can. Hold it for 5 seconds, have a few seconds off. Just try and build up the time you spend in that during each round. And reverse plank. Just walk your feet away from you if you need more of a challenge. Keep pushing your hands through the floor. And then split squat hold. Again, then focusing on that overhead rotation. Keep your ribs tight. We'll go in 3, 2, 1. Let's start. Spider-Man push-ups. Try and mess around with your hand placement. See what feels more comfortable. Switch sides. Okay, time for a couple more. Keep your whole body even as you push, and then relax. Hollow holds next. 3, 2, 1, go. So keep your lower back pushed into the floor for the entire time. Try and crunch your shoulders up off the ground. And pull your toes towards your head. So the reason I'm suggesting you do it this way today is that this position has a higher force demand. So instead of regressing every time, you're going to spend more time doing this, even if it's only in 3-second bursts. Which means you're going to get stronger from it. Relax. Into reverse plank. 2, 1. Go. So we're trying to accumulate more time in that harder variation. You're going to increase your strength, your core strength, rather than your strength endurance. toes up off the floor. Try and walk your heels a little bit further forward if you can. If you find that it's not getting any harder, just make sure you keep pushing your hands through the floor the whole time. Last couple of seconds. Stop there, and then you're into split squat holds. 2, 1, go. So hold that split squat position. Make sure your posture is upright. And then whichever leg you've got in front of you, start trying to do some overhead rotations. Keep your arm nice and tight, and don't let your ribs flare up. If you then want to build in the other arm as well, and then swap legs. But as you're doing it, try and get your back knee closer to the floor. Okay, last couple of seconds, and then relax. So 20 seconds off, back into Spider-Man push-ups. Ready to go in 3, 2, 1, go. Try and keep your whole body flat as you do it. The more you spread your hands and feet, the harder it gets. It does work if you go same leg, same hand. So from there, if you go left hand, left leg, switch over if you're still going. This makes it a bit harder to keep your knee out of the way. Just make sure you keep your elbows behind you the whole time. Relax. And then hold, try and keep a count of how often you're in the position. 2, 1, go. I'm so sure that was 10 seconds. So once you get to the point where you can't hold a position for more than 3, then you can start to regress it, because you'll fatigue your core to the point where you're unable to do it at all. Just make sure that includes your shoulders being off the ground, but not leading with your chin. 5 more. And stop. Into reverse plank. 2, 1, go. So make sure that if you relax your shoulders a second and then push again, start to appreciate the difference in how high you can get your hips. And that whole time, you want the work to be done by your hip muscles only, so everything above where my zipper is on the side there, so above your pockets. Last couple of seconds. Okay, and stop. And split holds again. 2, 1, go. So if you don't want to do the rolls, grab a foam roller, try and push it, squeeze the 2 ends together. Go overhead. Also trying to hold a crunch, so to keep your abs really tight. It becomes harder to get overhead while applying force. And switch legs. So you're trying to achieve this kind of position rather than getting to a certain point and then reaching forward, disengaging all your core muscles. relax. One more 20-second rest, and then round 3.
How hard are you fighting to not say the word
One time, I turned it into something else. It's Spider-Man push-ups, round 3. Let's go. If you find you're struggling, it's going to seem like a weird tip, but if you try and claw the ground with your fingers, like you're trying to ball up your hand, it actually becomes a bit easier to push with. And switch sides. So that's going to help you with all your other handstand work as well, and frog stands. And stop. Hollow holds again. Two, 1, go. So I'm going to have to pay more attention to my shoulders on this one. I think it becomes easier to keep your feet high. If you're not concentrating, your shoulders will start to drop down. It'll feel easier. Okay, last 10 seconds. And stop. We're going much harder if you try and reach with your hands as well instead of just holding them off the ground. Reverse plank. In 2, 1, go. I think I've said it before, but putting weight on your hips isn't really going to make this that much more challenging. That's it. I'm going to do the plank flat one. Then slowly crawl your feet away, not by a massive amount, like 1 pull with your toes. Should be enough to change the moment or make it more challenging. Couple of seconds, keep stopping early. And stop. And 1 more on the split squat holds. In 2, 1, go. So you'll know it's starting to work if you can then get the roller and your hands overhead without having to struggle against your ribs. Regardless of how hard you push. Keep your elbows locked straight, switch legs. And the other benefit is it gives you something to focus on other than your legs. And stop. So part 1's done, you get 1 minute rest. The big point of the pushing is, like I keep telling everyone, if you start to apply force in different ranges of motion, that's 2, it becomes easier to unlock and sustain more extreme ranges of motion. So if you find that you always have to do some sort of extreme warm up to be able to hold a streamline position, the better you get at pushing, pulling, doing all sorts of different actions over your head, the easier it's going to be, because you'll start to earn that range. Okay, 20 seconds left. Part 2 is your aerobic set, which everybody loves. So mountain climbers, lunge to high knee, skipping, and then burpees. I still need the table to be able to sustain mountain climbers, but try it without. In 2, 1, go. Just try to keep your head neutral, keep your shoulders stacked over your wrists. Have to use your shoulder muscles and your core to keep you there. Ten seconds left. And stop to lunge and high knee. 2, 1, go. So make sure that knee recovery is explosive. If you can, try and do all the lunges on one side before you swap. Switch now, if that's how you were doing it. If not, you can keep alternating. Keep your back completely parallel to the ceiling or the wall, parallel to the wall in front of you. Okay, and stop. And skipping. Be any version of skipping you want. I'm going to go with star jumps in 2, 1, go. Just keep an eye out on which direction your knees and toes point. Ideally, keep your toes pointing forward the whole time. Let your knees point outwards anyway. Relax. And then burpees. In 2, 1, go. So foot to hand speed. Straight back the whole time through. Even if you have to squat down slow, plant your hands. Okay, last 15. Ten seconds left. Okay, and then relax. A 20-second break, back to the start. So, mountain climbers. In 2, 1, go. To keep your breath controlled, push your hands down through the floor. 2/3 of the way there. Okay, and stop. Lunge and high knee. And 2, 1, go. If you want, you can try and challenge your hip mobility, increase the distance of that lunge whilst keeping your back upright. keep your pelvis neutral. And relax. 10 seconds of Mechan's burpees. In 2, 1, go. Throw in a few bounces in between if it helps keep every rep being explosive. Relax. One more 20-second rest. Oh, need more air. Okay, last 10 seconds of rest. Back into third and final round. In 2, 1, go. The more you can press your hands down, the more your upper body can support you during the mountain climbers. It doesn't become easier, but it becomes more of a whole body effort. Okay, last 10. Okay, relax.
Michelle's asked skipping. So, skipping question mark.
Oh, then we're skipping again. Alright, 2 rounds of skipping this time then. 2, 1, go. Sorry, Michelle. It's wishful thinking again.
It's great how on it she always is.
Alright, we'll skip burpees and then we'll do skipping at the end. Make sure you keep alternating so you get an even number each side. If you build the lunge distance, make sure your hips stay neutral. You don't want to lunge back too far and lose control in your stomach. Okay, and stop. And skipping, burpees, then skipping. 2, 1, go. You could even do it as I am if you wanted to, just to break up the monotony and just keep your heart rate high. I'd show you all the bean game, but I'm not sure it would go down that well. Okay, stop. So burpees and then skipping to finish off. In 2, 1, go.
Could you imagine doing double bean game?
What with this?
Doing it in this session and in the other?
I've nothing left. Stay low when you recover your feet. So feet come back, straight back position. 20 seconds left. Oh, 10 seconds. Awful. Okay, and then relax. So 10 more seconds and then finish on skipping. What we missed from round 2. 2, 1, go. and relax. Right, job done. It's stretch and cool down today. So walk around, stick your head out the window, just to get your heart rate back down. I can't do that.
The neighbours probably already think you're weird enough. Just please don't stick out your head out the window.
Mm-hmm.
The neighbours probably already think you're weird enough seeing you do this every morning.
See them banging it like 45 seconds at a time.
Yeah.
Every day of the week. Okay, so quads. Still going through that one leg then the other. So you start learning the positions. You can link them together. And this is definitely getting easier. Can only be a good thing.
Michelle's but sorry if that made me unpopular. I wanted to miss skipping too.
Not at all, Michelle. If anything, you get more out of it. It's just that we do repeat rounds of 4 because it's a bit more manageable, but we're going to have to try and make it harder somehow. I'm going to manage, like, give everyone a challenge. Switch sides. So you go from right quad to left hamstring. Got to manage challenge against time. Because obviously we could just make the session last an hour, but people would have to leave. So you can keep your foot flat on the floor if it helps you balance. As long as you feel all the stretch between your knee and your hip. Just sink forward with good posture. You can put your hand on the ground. Just again, keep your back flat. This just adds stability rather than supports my body weight. Switch sides. So you're going to go left knee, then right hamstring. As long as your shorts allow it. Again, hopefully people are starting to find this a bit easier now. Especially people with tight rack fans. I think at least one of you's been to a physio about that last season, so you know what I'm talking about. Best way to test it, Thomas test. If you lie on your bed, and look at how low your knee drops compared to your hip. Try and demo it on that, but it's probably a bit low. Okay, relax. Then right hamstring. So shift your right knee forward. If you don't, shuffle that knee, not knee, ankle. If you try and do that from here, it's going to feel like the hip stretch. So foot goes forward first, then sink. Straight back. Again, hand can provide support so you don't fall sideways, but it's different to leaning on your leg and putting all your body weight down. That just takes the stretch away. So it's all about leaning your belly button, getting all your center of mass closest to your foot. Okay, then hip. So we go arm cross. Pay attention to how close to the floor your knee can get when your arms and shoulders are pinned down. And then from there, stop manipulating your knee using your right hand. Right hand if you go to the right, left if you go to the left. And just try and take note of whether you feel it in your back or your hip. Okay, switch sides. A few of you might feel you need more time, but while the video is running, it's just an MOT rundown. So if you need more time, take it. I would never tell someone you just need 30 seconds. It's all very dependent on the person. Just got to make sure your shoulders stay pinned, so if I do this, nothing happens. Try pulling your knee up high, straightening your leg. Okay, then you're into lats. So if you're going to do a different one to normal, you go standing up, hands overhead, and lean to the side. So you're literally using, if you're leaning to the right, use your right hand to pull your left arm across, but then tip your hip down. So front arm position, like that. So it's basically the same sort of shape you're trying to make as when you're on the floor. And you switch sides. Side views to show that you're not dropping forwards and you're not leaning backwards like you're in a tunnel. So hands over to the left, push your hips, your ribs to the right and your hips to the left. So you're trying to create a curved shape on that side of your body. And you don't really have as many options, but you're just going to very deliberately stretch that part of your lat. And then finish off with the chest. Which you could go back to the normal one, but I think this gives you a lot more versatility. Because you don't get sweaty marks all over your living room wall.
Millie replied to Michelle saying, I know it's best we do the full set. Smiley face.
Absolutely. Well, Millie would have done it even if I hadn't said we're going to redo it. I'm not sure how good it would have looked if I just gone, yeah, don't worry about it. I'm not feeling it, we're just not going to bother. That's the point of writing meaningful sets. If it's written down, it's there for you can adapt things, but you still need to get the work done. I did have a sneaking suspicion anyway, because that second round flew by. Okay, and then relax. So key points for this, mess around with how far over your head the elbow goes. But try and twist your t-shirt or your chest away like you're doing thread the needle, but your table's stopping you. Keep paying attention to your neck and ankles. But mine's getting better because of all the overhead work. So all the overhead work we've been doing, the wall holds. Accent's great for saying that. It's just going to strengthen all these muscles so then they don't get as tight because load doesn't bother them so much. And that will do. That was almost the third one. I'll probably do it. I'll say goodbye and then I'll do it so that people aren't waiting. Go and watch Ellen's talk if you didn't. Use the YouTube or the Facebook, whichever. And then today's challenge. These are down. That's 3. Should have just stood in silence. Adaptability plank challenge. So let us know how you get on with that. And if you've got questions about, if your scores are just improving and you maybe want to do a bit more core work, just send me a message. A few people have. It's not exactly what I would call extra work, but it's more during the bodyweight sessions if they want to do something a bit more challenging that I can't do as a progression to what I've written, then you can have something else to do, but it's completely optional. So get on with that. Have a good day at school or college or work, wherever you're heading off to. And from everyone else at Guildford City, we want you to have a very great day. See you tomorrow.